Question: is telepathy possible? Answer: yes. Watch this video to find out why. Ashley Lee, I met her and she explained to me that she was an emergency room nurse in a children's hospital for 20 years. Imagine the stress that goes through those situations. Parents, kids, doctors, I mean, this was a heightened emotions. And she was able to take the entire field, compress it into 0-point possibilities, calm everybody down so that they were working in the minute in the exact place they needed to do, and also speak with the higher selves and angels of the children in the hospital. She has since retired from that and started many different organizations that are helping parents understand their telepathic kids and their kids be able to, integrate into their families. And she has signed on to LightNet to teach 2 telepathy classes that will help you deepen your ET contact and your contact with your loved ones and your friends and everything else. She's an incredibly skilled teacher, a professor, and we're so lucky to have her do this course with us. Never forget, I'm looking through her description of what she's teaching and she's talking about Tmails, and I'm like, yes. And everyone I've talked to is like using that word now. So we're really lucky to have her. I mean, she charges over $500 an hour to work with people. So this is like, being in a small group with her at this price is absolutely unbelievable. Give yourself an introduction. Tell people what you've been working on and what they're going to learn during this course.
Oh my gosh, so it's so exciting to be here, and it's so exciting to be here with everyone, including you, Zinka. Thank you so much for inviting me into this journey together, where we're really learning to unpack our gifts, right? And so one of the gifts that we all have that we may or may not realize is telepathy. And what is telepathy? Because the kids come in my office and they say, when can we start speaking like this? And I said, it's called telepathy, and we already are speaking like this. It's just some of us grown-ups. So that's why we're doing the grown-up class or the adult class also. I said to him, sometimes our thoughts and feelings aren't very good, right? And so when they're not very good, and he goes, you mean those things in the back of your head that you don't know are there? I said, yeah, those. They're called unconscious thoughts and unconscious feelings, or reactionary emotions that we have related to our thoughts and feelings. And so for us grown-ups, we get to learn very deeply that our thoughts and feelings are not private to our own experience. And sometimes that can be really scary and spooky, right? Because sometimes we want to have our own little private Idaho inside, having our own thoughts and feelings that aren't super great. But what if we can actually learn how to master them, work with them in ways where we can have our own private thoughts and feelings and not spread them to everyone else? And when we want to, we can send mental texts to each other. We can send, like you said, Tmails, right? So instead of electronic emails, we send telepathic emails. But those are interesting because the subject lines that we put on them and our energy behind them actually make a larger impact on our Tmails than even our emails. So those are some of the ways that we're going to be working more in-depthly with adults, with practitioners, with parents, with people who are very interested in speaking and sharing our consciousness with other people. And so we look at different ways. Are we being destructive, or are we being constructive? Are we being helpful and loving and supportive, or are we being a little denigrating and telling people how it is? So a lot of times what happens is depending upon what you want to share and say impacts those who are listening to our hearing of our telepathy. And then we also get to have so much fun and understand how we get to listen a little bit deeper, a little bit better to the different nuances, right? Because we're starting to naturally talk to each other's higher selves. But what is it like when we talk to each other's lower selves and then every self in between? And so we look at, and then we're people who have unified their field and their higher self talks to them all the time. So you can speak to a different levels and layers of people that we didn't know we could access and understand how to communicate more deeply. So those are some of the things that we're going to explore and experience and navigate and learn how to do more deeply with our telepathy.
That is so exciting. Right. So this is so exciting because you're going to get to clean up all those things, know when you're sending, know when you're receiving, know when you don't want to send when you're in those spaces. And one of the things we really love about the philosophy and approach that LightNet is having is that you're going to practice. Right. So this is not a theoretical, you're going to walk out of these 8 weeks, you're going to bond with this small group of people. We're probably going to be sending each other Tmails during the day and figuring out if they got there, how did it work, right? So this is practice. And once you come out of this lab, a whole world is going to open up to you. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah,
So,
exactly, because we do have texting and we do have emailing and we do have other ways. We have this Zoom conferencing availability and video conferencing, FaceTime, other things, other modalities to check in with each other and validate what it is in real time, what it is we're experiencing with each other. And we get to practice that, and practicing that helps us validate and understand, and it gives us more in-depth experiential learning to really pack it in and develop these tools where we've got them on our belt all day long, every day. So then we can start practicing with others in our environments to support each other in so many ways we didn't realize we could. And a lot of times we recognize, so what are the challenges of telepathy? What is it? What does it mean? And how do we deliver it? How do we speak to it? And how do we listen for it? And then also, what are the practical applications to our everyday world of being a telepath? We used to think, when I was little, I used to put my fingers in my ears going, nah, I don't want to hear what everybody has to say because it's not so pretty. And I'm not sure how to create conversation around that. But now we're adults now, and we have capacities and abilities to be able to formulate conversations that are more supportive. Something like, I sense you might be a little bit frustrated. How may I love, serve, and support you? How may I share? Right? And even as kids, we'll learn in the kids section too, a little bit about how to add resources to our environment when we're hearing something that isn't so awesome. And so what we're going to learn as a community, as a humanity, we're going to learn, wow, we can think and say and communicate negatively, but we can also do that positively and lovingly. And then how much of our time in our day and our mind do we speak positively about ourselves and each other?
yeah.
And that's ultimately where we have the capacity to move to.
Yeah.
So that's what's exciting about the practical applications of telepathy in today's world.
If you've ever been thinking of someone and they're thinking of you back, or if you're thinking, you know what I mean? I know what person is thinking? This is happening. We've got an adult course, and we also have a course for children 8 to 12 that come with their parents. So that's the one I'm going to be signed up for with my 8-year-old. I can't wait to be able to use this to really tap in when someone's having that bad day, to realize what's in their thoughts and to be able to sculpt it. So if you guys want to be part of this experience, click the registration link below. You'll go ahead and sign up. It's $199 for 8 weeks. It's really a 9 or 10 week thing when we get all the teams together. This is the cutting edge of cutting edge, and you are being invited in